Hey, Laszlo. So I looked over these stories you sent me.
Oh, you did? What'd you think? Were they any good?
I was a little confused.
That doesn't sound good.
For example, some of these stories are really short, like this one, which you left untitled.
Right.
This is just a blank piece of paper with the words "the end" written on it.
Yeah.
Why is this here?
Well, Kurt Vonnegut said that you should always start a story as close to the end as possible, and the end of a story is about as close to the end as you can possibly get.
Oh, okay, so it's a joke.
No, it's a chilling exploration of domestic abuse and the lingering effects of trauma.
It's a blank page.
Exactly. Mark Twain said that a successful book is made up not of what is in it, but what is left out of it.
That's not what that means.
To be honest, I was also a little bit skeptical of that advice, so I followed different advice for the other stories.
Okay, but some of these other stories, I mean, some of them are technically stories.
Ouch.
But look at this one. You just wrote "Water is wet."
Right.
Is this supposed to be like a poem or something? Like a commentary on the hidden complexity of oft-repeated truisms, or...
No. I'm just saying water is wet.
Why?
Because that's what Ernest Hemingway said to do. He said, and I quote, "All you have to do is write one true sentence. Write the truest sentence you know." So that's what I did. Water is wet. That's a fact.
I feel like you are willfully misunderstanding these authors.
Hey, Ernest Hemingway had a lot of good advice. Like when he said there is nothing to writing. All you have to do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed.
Oh, what? And you're going to say you tried that literally?
Of course. Where do you think these scars came from?
You're being serious, aren't you?
Weirdly enough, though, nobody wants to publish a short story that consists solely of a piece of paper covered in blood.
Laszlo, do you not understand that a lot of this writing advice isn't meant to be taken literally?
You know, I really am starting to resent some of these famous authors because that's not the first time one of them sent me to the hospital. Like that one time Ray Bradbury said you have to be continually jumping off cliffs and developing wings on the way down.
So that wasn't an accident when you fell off the roof last month.
Still haven't developed the wings yet.
Laszlo!
And Randall Jarrell said that to be a poet, you have to be a man who, in a lifetime of thunderstorms, is struck by lightning 5 or 6 times. But I've been standing on the roof of my house during thunderstorms for like a year now, and I've only been struck by lightning once. Guess I'm just not a poet.
Okay, you need to stop this, like right now. You're going to end up killing yourself.
Oh, okay, so I'm just supposed to give up on my dream of being a writer?
No, you need to stop this slavish devotion to abstract metaphorical bits of advice by authors who each have their own unique methods and may or may not understand what makes them good writers in the first place, or which of their advice is going to be applicable to other people.
Maybe Hemingway was right. Maybe I shouldn't write if I can't write.
No, but that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. He was probably trying to say something like, you shouldn't be writing unless you have a genuine commitment to your craft and making honest observations. Not, you shouldn't write at all if you happen to suck at it right now. You can't take these decontextualized pieces of advice too literally.
So, you're telling me I can open the windows in my house without worrying about my stories getting pneumonia?
Stories can't get pneumonia, Laszlo.
Oh, thank God. It was starting to get stuffy in here.
Is that why you have this one wearing a face mask?
But hold on. What about when Kurt Vonnegut said that you have to be a sadist to be a writer? Are you saying that's not true?
Of course not. He was just saying that you shouldn't restrain yourself from letting bad things happen to your characters.
So I've been going to all those sadomasochist meetups for nothing?
You've been doing what?
Let me tell you, I figured out pretty quickly that is not my vibe.
How have I not known you were doing all this?
Well, obviously I couldn't tell you, Derek. Ray Bradbury said, write only for yourself.
And yet you shared all these stories with me.
Only because G.K. Chesterton said that in matters of truth, the fact that you don't want to publish something is 9 times out of 10 proof that you should publish it.
Okay.
Which is actually a comforting thought considering that I don't really like any of these stories I've written.
You don't like these stories because you're not writing them truthfully. You're just following vague pieces of advice you don't even understand. Laszlo?
Okay, look, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I never meant for it to be this way. I just keep scrolling through all these Instagram accounts posting quotes by famous writers, waiting for that silver bullet piece of advice to strike me through the cord, solve all my writing problems. But writing is like super hard, and I don't have any ideas, and I feel like I'll never have any ideas, and I'm frustrated, and I need something. Okay, I need something.
Then just ignore all this advice and find your own methods. That's what most of the advice is trying to get you to do in the first place.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm focusing too much on the aesthetic of being a writer and not on writing itself.
Maybe you are.
Thank you, Derek. You're a good friend.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah. It's a real shame that Stephen King said to kill your darling.
It's a metaphor! Laszlo, it's a metaphor!